Imagine a ballistic missile tearing through the ocean surface. Over the weekend, North Korea made this a reality, firing actual missiles into the sea in a rapid escalation that marks their fourth launch this month alone. This map shows the exact flight path of those weapons. They traveled precisely 140 kilometers, but notice where they stop. They deliberately cut short before crossing the hard boundary into Japan's exclusive economic zone. This sudden military flex is happening at a strange time. Right now, behind closed doors, there are active discussions about potential peaceful summits between Pyongyang, the United States, and South Korea. On the diplomatic side, we have South Korean President Lee Jae-myung. He recently took the incredibly rare step of apologizing directly to North Korea for drone incursions originating from the South. But that olive branch only goes so far. Inside South Korea's executive Blue House, officials immediately convened an emergency security meeting, flatly condemning the weekend missile launches as a direct violation of UN resolutions. Pyongyang uses these escalations to set the terms of engagement, viewing demonstrated military power as a non-negotiable prerequisite for any diplomatic dialogue. To understand what they are bringing to that table, we have to look at exactly where Sunday's missiles came from, the eastern coastal city of Sinpo. Sinpo houses an advanced naval program, including this, a Sinpo-class experimental ballistic missile submarine docked at the pier. Looking closely at the center of the conning tower, you can see the dedicated launch tube structure, purpose-built to deploy heavy munitions from underwater. We already know that this program works. The last time the North test-fired a ballistic missile from a submarine in May of 2022, it flew an impressive 600 kilometers. These recent launches out Sinpo aren't random engineering tests. They are a calculated showcase of submarine-launched ballistic missiles, weapons that are inherently difficult to track, designed specifically to maximize international leverage. There is another, much larger clock ticking in the background, driving Pyongyang's timeline, the ongoing 7-week-old US and Israeli war against Iran. A primary objective of that Middle Eastern conflict is the forced restriction or outright destruction of Tehran's nuclear program. This flowchart illustrates the stark difference. On the left, Iran's nuclear ambitions remain vulnerable, actively intercepted by military strikes. On the right, North Korea is building a closed, impenetrable loop of deterrence, accelerating its own weapons program. Former South Korean intelligence officials are pointing this out directly. They note that North Korea is firing these missiles to explicitly prove a point. Unlike Iran, we have the active self-defense capabilities to strike back immediately. They are watching a live war unfold across the globe and using it as a real-time mandate to secure an unassailable military position before they ever negotiate. This strategy relies on an expanding nuclear fuel cycle, a reality backed by recent intelligence from International Atomic Energy Agency Chief Rafael Grossi. Grossi's assessment is stark. He reports that Pyongyang has made very serious advances in its core capacity to produce actual nuclear weapons. This schematic represents what the IAEA believes is driving that advance. They have identified the probable addition of a brand new uranium enrichment facility, expanding their network of centrifuge cascades to process more fissile material. This physical expansion aligns perfectly with a major political directive issued by North Korean leader Kim Jong-un late last March. He declared that rapidly expanding a self-defensive nuclear deterrent is absolutely essential to the survival of the nation. This escalation forces the international community to acknowledge Pyongyang's status as a permanent nuclear-armed state, moving the goalposts of all future diplomacy from disarmament to coexistence.